This math problem started a war on Reddit by Zero2Pi. We're gonna look at this. I have no idea. I'm bad at math. Don't ask me. We're gonna look at this. I might just understand nothing. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. For 2 daily reaction videos plus Pokemon content. Yay. And 7 streams a week unless the temperatures hit 36 degrees. Anyway, we're going in. We're going in. I don't know what to expect.
There seems to be two answers to a single equation, and somehow both sides make sense. You've probably seen this before. It might look simple or even childish. 6 divided by 2 times something in brackets, and yet it gets confusing the moment you try to solve it. I saw a meme on Reddit with the same expression. The comment section seemed divided.
Right. Let's go back to the meme section here. Viral math problem. 6 divided by 2 times, in brackets, 1 plus 2 equals. Mathematicians. See, answer 9. Is it 1 or 9? I can't tell. Physicists. Just take the average. It's 5. Right? So it would be, right? It would be, right? 3? Then it would be 3 times 3, right? That would be 9. Right? But what do you solve first? Right? Because I would say 9. Right? I see this and I'd be like 9. But whatever, right? I would be like 9. How do you get 1 though? That's the question.
Comment section seemed divided. People defended their answers with different explanations, and suddenly basic arithmetic turned into
Oh god. Let me read. The answer's 9. Parentheses goes first. 1 plus 3 equals 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then division. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And last multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. PEMDAS. Makes sense. It's 1. You distribute into parentheses. So 2 times in brackets. 1 plus 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. Therefore, 6 divided by 6 is 1. It's either 1 or... What the fuck, Dr. Kitten?
basic arithmetic turned into a full-blown argument.
No world in which it's not 9.
And when you think it can't get worse, ironically, there's always that one person who casually says the answer is 5 and walks away like they didn't just ruin the entire discussion, like the one physicist in this meme. So what's actually going on here? Why does something this simple create so much disagreement? The confusion stems from how you interpret the order of operations. Specifically, the system most of us were taught, PEMDAS, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. A detail that often gets ignored while following PEMDAS is that multiplication and division, or addition and subtraction, are not separate steps. Both are treated as having the same priority. So when you see multiplication and division together, there's no priority between.
Really? I always learned that essentially point before, I always thought there was multiplication and division before addition and subtraction. That's how I've learned it. Wait, but if they have this... Is that where I got cooked here? Later on? No way. I always thought it was multiplication and division and then... it was essentially point before lines. Right? Because, like, plus and minus are, like, right? Lines, essentially. Anyways.
Between them. Instead of doing multiplication first, you evaluate them strictly from left to right. This is where most of the disagreement starts. Let's actually apply this rule to our expression. The first step is completely uncontroversial because parentheses always come first, so no debate there. We simplify what's inside. 1 plus 2 becomes 3, and now the expression looks something of this sort. But now it's the exact moment where things split because what you're looking at now can be read in 2 different ways depending on how you interpret that 2 into 3. On one side, it's just another multiplication. On the other, it feels like a grouped unit.
But if you go from left to right, wouldn't it be 6 divided by 2? Because, right, that's the idea.
This difference can cause confusion. If we follow the modern standard interpretation first, we'll treat that 2 into 3 as regular multiplication, just another operation in the sequence. So the expression becomes 6 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. Now we apply PEMDAS. Division and multiplication have equal precedence, so we move from left to right. 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. Then 3 multiplied by 3 gives us 9. And that's why calculators, software, and most modern textbooks land on the answer 9. And at this point, it feels done, except it isn't, because there's another way to read this expression.
But why would you do 2 times 3 first if it's from left to right? Huh?
This interpretation uses something called multiplication by juxtaposition, and that's just a formal way
So you're just formally saying multiplication comes first?
of saying multiplication without a symbol, like writing 2 next to parentheses. In some mathematical traditions, especially older ones, this kind of multiplication is treated as more tightly bound. So instead of seeing 6 divided by 2 times 3, you see 6 divided by the entire quantity 2 times 3. So with the interpretation, our steps change.
But does that, how does that make sense? It's not, why do you put in brackets if it's not longer in brackets? If the other one is not in brackets, that, nah,
2 times 3 becomes 6. And then 6 divided by 6 gives you 1. So now we've got 2 answers. 9 comes from strictly following left to right evaluation under equal precedence, and 1 comes from treating implicit multiplication as a grouped unit. Neither is inventing math. They're just applying different conventions about how operations
So are both correct at the same time? Schrodinger's math, math, something? Kind of, I don't know.
interact. The real issue isn't which answer you got. It's the fact that the expression allows both interpretations in the first place. In mathematics, this kind of ambiguity is avoided completely. If the intention was 9, you'd write it as 6 divided by 2, all multiplied by 3. If the intention was 1, you'd clearly group the denominator. But this expression doesn't do that. It just sits in the middle, forcing you to guess and make your own interpretations. So from a technical standpoint, it's ambiguous and not well formed. It violates one of the most basic principles of mathematical notation, which is clarity. The conflict comes from the expression being poorly written. So the real takeaway is understanding that math depends on...
So math depends on how it is formed, right? Is that what this is? That's where it comes from?
precision, not just in calculation, but in how ideas are written and communicated. A good mathematical problem leads everyone to the same answer. This one was never designed to do that. It was designed to divide people, and clearly it worked. Thanks for watching. If you like...
That's interesting. That's interesting. So here it comes, since clarity is essentially lacking, here it comes down to how the way your brain handles things. Obviously, I would have gotten to the 9 instead of this, right? Because I learned from like left to right. I've learned that, and I've learned that multiplication comes first, right? That comes first. So I would have probably started with the 6 divided by 2. I guess not really, because parentheses come first, I guess, right? Makes sense. But after that, right, even with like other things in between, right, if the once the parentheses is gone, right, and there's still other stuff that needs to be done, that comes first, right? The multiplication always came first for me. Anyway, that was interesting to know. Yeah, I would have ended up with 9. Tell me what you would have ended up with. Thank you for watching. Please consider like, subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya, guys.